The past 6 months have been some of the most challenging that I've ever experienced in my adult entrepreneurial world, and I want to share just some of the things that have helped me get out of bed every day. I'm somebody who's really happy most of the time, and I have a really good attitude. I'm the everything's fine girl. So when things are going crazy, I'm usually like everything's fine, and I'm pretty easy to just like shift my mindset. But because of just how much I had going on the past few months, I felt it really hard, or much harder than it ever had been, to just kind of shift my mindset some days and want to get out of bed. The mind is so powerful, and I have realized that even more than ever just from this journey, because I've really had to pull myself from the depths of some like dark mindset places some days. And as somebody who is really positive a lot of times, I don't feel like I have experienced those like really hard to get out of bed days that often. So I felt like it was really hard to figure out, what do I do in this time? How do I get back to feeling good and knowing that I'm not going to feel good just automatically. It's going to be work, and the first step is just getting up. So some of the things that have been so helpful for me is, well, one, the little things like my morning coffee, my morning ritual, the things that I know just help me get excited, and caffeine, morning walks, Pilates, hanging out with friends. Like those little things have been so freaking helpful. I think just overall community, being in the presence of other people, not even like maybe talking about your feelings, but just being with other people and shifting your mind to focus on like the things that you're grateful for, like the little things of being able to take a morning walk, being able to move your body, being able to have friends that you can surround yourself with. We're just there in great energy to be around. Something else is also remembering all the things that you have accomplished and how far you've come and where you are now, and all the blessings and the things that you maybe prayed for years ago and you have now that maybe just became normalized in your life, and just sitting in that gratitude. That also like has been helpful. And I saw this saying that has really stuck with me, is where there's gratitude, there can't be stress. And if you're feeling like a negative emotion, just pause for a second and start thinking about the things that you're grateful for, and that negative emotion like disappears. I'm not saying we should always just shove our feelings under the rug, but in a moment where, like for me, days of, oh my gosh, I don't even know how I'm gonna get out of bed right now, that was helpful because it really helped me shift to a more positive place. And then that is a domino effect for other thoughts and feelings and how you see things, because there's a world here and there's a world here. And when you're in the world of like feeling down and negative, it's like hard. It's hard to shift to see the other world. But so it takes like those little things, and gratitude's a really big thing that is easy to shift you over here. And then that can start to build, and you can stay in the positive world a lot longer. Also, letting my creative side out, discovering my creative side, diving into it and letting it out, letting it free, giving it space, that has been so helpful. I made a video yesterday about how like we tell stories to ourselves about we are or aren't certain things, and sometimes we just run with it, and maybe that's a story that we don't want to believe anymore, or we don't even know why we believed it in the first place. And so I've always been pretty creative, but in different ways, and I never really considered myself like a writer or a speaker, but I've been giving myself space to just feel into that, and I now have realized, no, I am that. And so being able to dive into my creative outlets has been so fun and fulfilling, and it's so simple too. It could be literally just like writing or making a video. I love doing that. You guys know, like if you look at my videos from like January to like March, I was making so many videos because that was my outlet. That was truly my outlet, and it was getting me excited to like get up, put makeup on, do my hair, like all those things. So I had something to like look forward to. And this one's a little bit of tough love, but reminder to yourself that the situation that you're in is not permanent, but you will continue to stay stuck until you make movement towards where you want to be in life. And I know you may not have clarity on what that is, but movement helps create clarity and then also makes things happen in your life. And so starting with the little things of getting movement for your body, because that's going to also help you feel your best, then open up ways to get more clarity in your life. Whether like how you're feeling right now has to do with work or relationships or just overall you're just not feeling happy, just know it's not permanent. Your life can and will change, and there's so many lessons in where you're at now that you get to learn and take from that in the future. And when things start to build and that momentum starts to grow, you're gonna make a lot of connections on, oh my gosh, where I was at, the things I was feeling, like these are the realizations that I'm having, and that's gonna start to build and move you forward. And the truth is, like, whatever you're feeling now, like, you do have the choice to make of like how long you want to be sitting and feeling that. And if you're just gonna sit and not take action, you're gonna be stuck longer. And so like movement is such an amazing way to get more clarity and build momentum in your life. So make the movement. You don't have to have the clarity now. Like I mentioned, the first few months of the year, I didn't know what I wanted to do with myself. And a lot of like my struggles that I'm talking about, like what was hard was around career, but like for me, career was like my identity. And so I was having to just deal with not having the career that I've been building for so long, and then having to figure out like what I want to do and then start over from scratch. So it was a lot of like mental stuff, a lot of just feeling like I was a failure and just so many things that I had to process. But I processed them faster because I did make movement. I didn't just like sit, and I did peel myself out of bed on the days that I didn't want to get out of bed. And I did the little things that I knew were going to make me better for tomorrow. And I love the mentality of 1% better every day, because it takes things from overwhelming to like little things, and they will move you faster along than if you're doing like a lot in one day and then like having days where you're just sitting and doing nothing. Anyway, these things helped me. I still have days where I'm like, oh my gosh, today's hard, but it's just a day. It is just a day, and I can choose how my next day is gonna go based off of what I'm focusing on and taking myself from like this negative world to a positive world. And the more I do it, the easier it gets to do.